Hello, guys. Welcome back to my channel, um, the Carlos Cruz Show. I hope everyone is well. Hope everyone's health is well. Um, what I want to talk to you guys today is about what's been happening in the news about this woman who actually killed her husband on Facebook Live. So, in Loudon County, Mississippi, according to WJTV, a woman was arrested after she allegedly shot and killed a man on Facebook Live in Loudon County on Saturday, March 25th, which is yesterday. Officials with the Loudon County Sheriff's Office, LCSO, said deputies responded to a domestic violence call around 7:42 a.m. at 500 Green Tree Drive. They found the 28-year-old man who lived there at home had died from a single gunshot wound. According to LCS officials, the victim and the 28-year-old Khadijah Michelle Brown were in an argument that turned physical. Brown then allegedly shot the victim, which officials said was captured on Facebook Live. They said evidence was found at the scene, including a handgun. Brown was arrested and charged with murder. She was booked into the Loudon County Adult Detention Center. There was a history of domestic violence between Brown and the victim. This was a tragic and senseless murder, and our thoughts and prayers go out to the family of the victim. Fortunately, Brown is in custody, and we look forward to the criminal justice system holding her accountable, said the Loudon County Sheriff's Eddie Hawkins. This story was found on WJTV's news website. I'm going to speak to this. This is very, very, disturbing. This is uh, senseless loss of life. I watched the video, and it was horrible. Now, if I were in that situation myself personally, with with a woman who's that angry, I would leave right away. And I understand what he was trying to do. He was recording everything. Their kids there and things like that, but it's not worth your life. Um, you know, nowadays, with the amount of firearms here and the amount of weapons and people's mental health issues, you just never know. Um, Unfortunately, he did not get out in time, and I think the reason that he stayed there so long is because the um his wife's mother was there, his mother-in-law was there. So I didn't think he thought it would escalate to that degree. But I think if I were him, I would have, left. And he was threatening to call the cops. He and the least of it, he should have, called the cops like right away. Um, it almost looked like she didn't want him to actually leave. She wanted to engage him in her mania, in in a struggle. Um, and I heard some people were talking about, what did he do to her? Um, and I heard some people say, well, he's probably just a cheating, lying SOB, or et cetera, et cetera. Well, I just want to say this: there's no excuse to kill someone, unless it's self-defense. This is absolutely necessary. Um, Out of pride, we don't have to kill someone or shoot someone. This is coming from a gun owner. If someone gets upset with me, or whatever, I get upset with someone. It's not in my thinking to go and get my gun and shoot them. I don't really waste my time arguing with people, and we have to have a sense of emotional security about ourselves, emotional decorum, if that makes sense. Um, and when people are getting that hot, if she's getting that hot, he was keeping his cool. Obviously, he was talking, but his phone was being slapped out of his hand. Um, I just feel horrible that he lost his life. But um, don't make up stories about the victim if you don't know, PH head or etc. Don't make up stories because you don't know what was going on in that household. And female domestic violence is not um, uh, how should I say it's not like less important. It's not, that shouldn't be played down because all domestic violence is wrong. Unfortunately, people who um, I don't know, maybe it's their value system, whatever, they always assume that, okay, well, if a man is hurt or killed by a woman, that it's his fault. And that's not good logical thinking. Any person with a reasonable mind, any spine of morality, just defending something because you are that sex. I can't defend a guy who killed someone out of rage just because I'm a guy. It's like, okay, well, you know, the bitch was doing something crazy. Well, she slept with someone else or whatever the case may be. When stories come out like this, let's not jump to conclusions. The scientific method tells us we have to form a conclusion, form a hypothesis, test the hypothesis, and then form a conclusion. You can't jump straight to the conclusion. We are human beings. We have to rationalize. We have to use logic. And also, in cases where, anger is we have to show compassion. It's not worth spending your life in jail over hatred or, um, you know, whatever you think this person may have did or things like that. And some people are so are crazy that if you don't do what they say, whatever, it it sends something off in their brain where they're just like, well, I have to take accountability within myself to do something physical. So in other words, that's being self-centered. If you don't do as I say, I'm going to beat you, or I'm going to cause a scene, and all that, and that's not right. Um, Another thing too, if you're with a woman who has anger issues, there, she could be bipolar, we don't know, or she could just have some sort of manic anger issues. Um, you know, encourage that person to get help. Because if you don't, that could be your life, or that could be your limb. Um, uh, Marriage is a beautiful institution and it should be cherished and things like that. And if you know that you have anger issues like that, where it could lead to you being physical, where you feel like you cannot control yourself, get help. Now these kids are without a father. Okay. This situation is totally wrong. This person has no common sense, no sense of compassion, no sense of morality, no sense of awareness. She was doing this with the kids in the house. And I'm not excusing her killing him, but if you're going to argue for long enough, do that. Do that away from the children. I was like, there's one thing about me and my ex. We made a deal where we're not going to argue in front of, our son. Um, and I'm glad he, didn't really, see that. I respect her. She respects me. I never talk bad about her in front of, my son. Um, Men, choose the women that you're with wisely. Okay. And we're taught not to hit women. Well, and that's great, and you should not encourage violence, but if you feel like you're walking on eggshells to the point where your life or um, or physical harm could be a possibility, eliminate that possibility because you are so worth it. You, your life has value. Um, it does. If a person doesn't want to get help, you you can't wait around, for them. I mean, you can wait around for them, but when they're let them go to therapy, because that's very, very, very important. Anger is one of the worst emotions. It's hard to come down from anger. When you cry, you're sad. Um, you're releasing, I guess, some toxicity, and then someone could make you laugh and et cetera, and come down. But when you're angry, uh, and you're angry and you have anger management issues, that is a disaster waiting to happen. Um, but that's all I have to say. Um, this is a really sad story. Today is Sunday, March 26th. Please subscribe to my channel, The Carlos Cruz Show, and take care of yourselves, and also take care of other people. And if you see something bad, say something, do something. Thank you, and have a great day.